Hey everyone, I'm here in what kind of looks like a prison cell, but it's not. I'm in the basement of the church office, and I'm going to talk to you about our next virtue. It's February now, and we have a new virtue, and the virtue is justice. Maybe you've heard the word justice in things like the Justice League, the organization that has Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. Or maybe you've heard of justice having to do with legal justice. She's often portrayed as having a blindfold on to show that justice is blind. Well, justice is a word that we use all the time but maybe don't understand. Justice simply means, as a virtue, it means to give to the other person what is due them, what they deserve, what is fair. As an example, let's say my daughter Mary wants to make some money to buy a new stuffed animal. And she opens up a lawn mowing business and she hangs out her sign and she's going to mow lawns for 10 cents. And then she goes ahead and she mows people's yards. And at the end, let's say after Mary mows a yard, she says, you know what, 10 cents isn't enough. I'm going to charge 20. Well, that's not fair. She didn't agree to that. The owner didn't agree to that. That's not just. In the same way, let's say Mary mowed a yard and they say they're going to give her 5 cents. That also is not fair. So this idea of justice is kind of written naturally into our hearts. Kids and adults alike don't like it when they're cheated, and they understand it when they're not being treated fairly. All the parents out there of multiple children can attest what kids often say, you're not being fair. So something really important to understand about justice, though, is though it is dealing with people fairly, it does not mean equally. An example for this would be if there's a big test coming up and one student puts a lot of work into it and studies and pays attention in class, and then another student doesn't pay attention and doesn't study. Should they get the same grade? What if the teacher says, I don't really want to grade all the tests. I'll just give everybody a C. Is that really fair to the one who put in a lot of work and tried? So justice doesn't necessarily mean equality. Here are a couple questions for you to think about as we begin to get into the subject of the virtue of justice. Number one, have you ever been treated unfairly? What did that feel like? Number two, justice is about getting what you deserve. What do you think every human person deserves to have? Okay, I'll see you next week.